Hi, welcome. And for sure, our banners are coming from our admin panel. But currently, these images or these banners are coming from the network image. And this is basically giving our app a lot of stress because it has to source all this image from the network, right? And what we can also do, we can request for these images just once, and we can save them within our app locally, and whenever we request for it, it's just going to retrieve that image it has already stored. Okay, to do this, we're going to be using a package, and what you have to do is to head up to pub.dev, and over here we're going to search for a package known as cached network image. What this will do is it will request for an internet image, and it's going to save it locally. And whenever you request for that image, it does not has to load from the internet anymore. It's just going to save it locally. Okay, and basically this will save your app from a lot of loads. And copy this, and also you can see, you can read more description about it, and you can see the cache network image can be used directly through the image provider, but the cache network image have minimal support for web and currently includes caching, and you can see how to use it. Sounds good. And you can see when you want to have both the placeholder functionality and want to get image provider to use on the widget, don't worry, you're gonna see this in action. And you can see what it does. The cache network images stores and retrieves file using some scope. And you can basically see what it does now, and copy this back to VS Code files, and within the postback.yaml file, we have to paste this. Okay, we have to paste this over here and use Ctrl S to save. And I'm going to show you this one more time. You can see within the banners widget, we have this function, and the reason for this function is to retrieve our banners from the banners collection, right? And over here, we created a variable called underscore banner image, and it is a type of list because it's going to contain multiple images or more than one images. And over here, we are looping over each image we have, and we are looping over each image we have within the uh, banners collection, and we are basically adding that image to this uh, uh, underscore images variable or list. And over here, you can see we are fetching from, we are using the network, the image.network in order to retrieve our image. That is, currently it has to go to the HTTP slash to retrieve each images, right? But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the cache network image. So it's going to retrieve that image once from the network, and it's going to store that image to our app locally. So it does not has to or have to request for that image all the time. But currently, whenever we visit the screen, you can see over here, we created a method called initState, and we called the get banners. So whenever we visit the home screen, it's going to trigger this function immediately, and it's going to try to load that image from the network image, or from the network, or from the Ethernet. But what we want to do is, after loading, just after fetching that image from the Ethernet, we want to store it locally. So we do not have to load it all the time. Currently, we have to always request from it from the network, but when you use the cache network image, it's going to save it locally. And whenever we go to that screen, or whenever we go to that image screen, it's going to call this get banners, but this time around, it's not going to load it from the Ethernet, but it's going to retrieve it from our local, it's going to retrieve it locally. That is for the first time. It's going to get it and store it for us. And whenever we need it, it's not going to give us from the Ethernet again, but it's going to give us from our own app. So it's basically saving it locally. And I believe you also have some knowledge about cached. When someone will say, please clear your cache because it has something that the password or something else has been stored locally in your app. So they want you to clear your cache in order to let it go. And this is what the cache network image basically does. And now what you have to do is to probably stop your app from running and then rerun to make sure that package has been added. And whenever you add a new package, it is always recommended to restart your app or restart your VS Code. Okay, that is in that when you add a new package, it is recommended to stop your app and restart it, or just close your VS Code or your editor and restart.